Hey guys, welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. It is February 7th, Wednesday, hump day. Let's have a good day. Welcome back to the show. Before we get started today, I hope you guys are all ready to go because we got a lot to talk about, a lot to dive into. And I just had my little coffee this morning, a little bit of yogurt, and Howard said, "What is that on your face?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I had to run real quick to the bathroom and wipe my face so I get back on your live and talk to all of you." But let's get started. Let's roll and let's look at the hit list for today. And what do we got? Aaron Rodgers, Joe Buck, refs. What are they going to do in the Super Bowl? The Pro Bowl. What's going on with that with flag football? The Warriors, obviously Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. Bare knuckle fighting. Astros, $125 million contract. And as you know, we will end the show with a quote today, as we do every day now, to move forward with the motivation to continue to chase your dreams. Let's get started right now. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. What's the latest? Well, let me tell you something right now. Aaron Rodgers, obviously people are like, well, is he going to come back? Is he going to play? Is he going to be the main guy there? How long will he be there? Well, the biggest problem right now with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets right now is the distractions, right? The GMs are saying, let me pull this other picture up behind here, Howard, for us. A lot of the general managers are saying that the problem is Aaron Rodgers is too much like a coach. They're running decisions through Aaron Rodgers. They're running decisions through Aaron Rodgers, almost like, and they use the terminology that he is like a frat brother. Now, you have to have some type of loyalty and some kind of respect for your coach, where it's just a little uncomfortable, right? Because they're going to tell you what to do. They're going to put you in your place at times. So there's times you're just a little uncomfortable. The problem with the Jets is Aaron Rodgers is too much like a coach. And so he's walking down the field, he's making decisions, and I love Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong. I love what he brings to the Jets, selling tickets, bringing New York hype, making it crazy. And we still have that picture there, Howard. Here we go. Listen, it is like this. He is too much like a coach on the field. And here's the concern right now. All the coaches that are around him, a lot of these guys more similar age now. So it's like, how can you really be this man's coach, right? It's like, look, he might know more about the offensive scheme than you. He might know more about the NFL than you. So as he's running around on the field and making decisions, he's also on the field when Zach Wilson's in the game, and Zach Wilson's looking up to him almost like a father figure, a big brother, mentor. But the whole organization, the New York Jets, is like, okay, what are we going to do next season? What transitions are we going to make? Who are we going to bring in? Who are we going to let go? Aaron Rodgers is still at the forefront. The man is selling tickets. He's in the media. He brings all the hype. He's on a Pat McAfee show every Tuesday. He's on different networks. People are calling him in. He's talking about the team. And here was the problem. All last season being hurt, he had nothing but time. Aaron Rodgers had nothing but time to go around and talk and be around places. This isn't a knock against Aaron Rodgers. This is just a knock against how the collective organization agreement, how Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets actually works together. I mean, it's literally a difficult situation. Now, if you look at other coaches and other staffs, right, unlike this one, other people have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. They have older coaches that are there and they get little altercations. You look at Lamar Jackson crying as he gets off the field sometimes. He didn't make that play, didn't make it happen. There's just so much emotion out there. And the problem with Aaron Rodgers is really simple. He's on his way out. He's making a lot of money. The negotiating strategy was just, look, I'm going to come to New York. I'm going to bring a lot of ticket sales. I'm going to put butts in seats. We talk about that all the time. That's important. All those people that do that, your Taylor Swifts of the world, you can knock them. They put butts in seats. The Chiefs are using those people to put butts in seats. All around the organization, all around the NFL, you need people like that. And so the question is, who's going to start for the New York Jets? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. How long will he be there? Get a little bit older, not old person, not old in the real world, but old on the football field. As you start to get older than your coaches and older than people around you, and you start to hang out with the owners more, and that's great, you lose that coach-player experience. Growing up when you're in high school, you got an older coach. Even before that, then you get to college, right? It's different. It's a lot different. The coaches behind you are the same age as you. So Aaron Rodgers running with a headset on, making decisions, and they said really clearly, some of these decisions run through Aaron Rodgers. And the GM was like, I'm not happy about that. The general manager is like, I'm not happy about that. Other GMs talk about that, and it's just the buddy system. And again, love Aaron Rodgers, loves what he brings to the game. I think it's great. I think he's a great talent. He's on his way out. When he left Green Bay, it was, okay, you have another season or two, and got hurt. That changes everything. All the confusion at the quarterback position. They need to get a quarterback. They need to draft a quarterback. Either continue building Zach Wilson, which we already saw that's not going to work. Comes in, they bench him. Somebody else comes in, they bench him. And then it's like, is Aaron Rodgers going to play? We're going to bench you. So Zach Wilson needs to get out of New York, go play somewhere where his life can grow, and he might even do better somewhere else. But the New York Jets need to draft a quarterback that can potentially come in this season, learn behind Aaron Rodgers, what Zach Wilson was supposed to do, but they can learn behind Aaron Rodgers and move forward. That's what should really happen. And guys, good morning. If you're first time coming in right now, good morning to you. Obviously, Howard, Candy, Michael, good morning to you. People that don't talk in the chat, don't be scared to talk in the chat. That's how we build the network and we grow. So I want to say good morning to all of you in here right now. If you do communicate on here, I will respond back to you as fast as humanly possible. But let's move on to Joe Buck. Who is Joe Buck? Now, Joe Buck, next to Troy Aikman here, Joe Buck's on your left. This guy is a famous individual for talking on Monday Night Football. You know, he's a big part of the show. Why is he on here right now? Why do you have Joe Buck listed on here? Well, because Joe Buck made it very clear, I am not going to the Super Bowl. Why are you not going to the Super Bowl? Because he thinks something really bad is going to happen. He made it very clear publicly, all over the web, internet, social media. He's not going to the Super Bowl because he thinks that there's going to be something going on in Sin City. It's supposed to be what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. He doesn't think that's going to happen. He thinks there's going to be some turmoil, some issues with all kinds of craziness. You're going to mix the Super Bowl with Las Vegas. A lot of people for years were like, and NFL, I believe, quote unquote, said, we're going to keep the NFL away from Sin City, away from Las Vegas. A lot of distractions. A lot of other places are distractions too. But Las Vegas is one of those places where what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And Joe Buck made it very clear. On the left here again, he goes, I'm not going to the Super Bowl because it's going to be out of control. He thinks something bad is going to happen. And good morning. Good morning to you. Brenda, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Love to have you on here every day to expand our network. Very thankful to have you guys joining us. We have a lot of things I will be talking to as I get into with networks that have reached out because of you guys coming on every day and supporting us and letting this grow. We have a lot of people that are reaching out to us, different networks as we expand and grow. And there are some opportunities that came my direction because of all of you guys that I did not take because I wanted to continue building my platform instead of going and talking on the panel. We can have the Brandon Mason Show, hopefully on FS1. The Brandon Mason Show, hopefully on those other platforms. So thank you, all of you that are watching this. But as we continue to finish the conversation with Joe Buck, look, here's the situation. Is he right? Is he really right in what he's saying? Where, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be too many problems for the Super Bowl to be in Las Vegas. There's already issues with the field, right? Small, minor things. You know, the 49ers are complaining their field isn't working. This isn't good. They're moving them around the city. We don't want you to be here. There's all these complications right now. But the question is, will there be safety, right? Where are people going to park? The riots, the fan base, people coming around. Are they ready for the Super Bowl? It's a big deal. Big time commercials. Lots happening. Let's move on to the refs. And I'm going to tell you something that's really interesting. As you can see, Andy Reid arguing with refs, this is normal, right? The refs are going to call this game. How do the refs prepare for this game, right? And I have another picture in a second. Not yet, Howard. I'm going to show them something else real quick. How do the refs prepare for the Super Bowl? It's like they got to get the stretching in, right? They got to get out there. It's a Super Bowl. They're going to be laser focused. We're going to blow the whistle more or call more things or be more on top of it. It's like, it's the Super Bowl. It's going to be physical gameplay. It's not going to be like the regular season, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. We're talking players playing for a paycheck. We're talking players playing for a bonus, a roster spot, a resume builder for next season. You're in your last year. You're a free agent next year. Ball out in a Super Bowl because next year you're a Super Bowl winner coming back where you might be playing somewhere else. So what do these refs do? They're calling these plays, and you can see Andy Reid is on it, right? Patrick Mahomes on it. And people are like, oh, man, the refs always help the Chiefs, yada, yada, yada. Maybe, maybe not. Not going down that road. I'm just saying refs, sometimes it can be a little interesting, right, with how tough they got to call games. Let them play. It's physical. They got to get out there and they got to play. And the hardest part about it is the regular season, you got preseason. Refs are getting out there a little bit, getting their feet wet running, calling some plays, a couple holding calls they miss. The team's getting back in the groove. Then you got the regular season, right? Building up early on, getting going. And then you got the playoffs, and the refs are really starting to get in, and it's who are we going to put in the playoffs? What refs are the best? What refs are kicked out of the season because of things they did? Then you got the Super Bowl, right? So let me show you something interesting. Howard, let's pull this picture up for people here behind here. So here's the thing, okay? And I want you guys to understand something watching this, and as we upload this content to YouTube, okay, you have women refs now in the NFL. If you're watching it live right now, I'm talking to you live. And after I get done with this, all the highlights I get from the live clips go to YouTube, and they go through all the platforms and all over to keep building our network and our platform here with the program. So, women refereeing. Okay, let me just say this. I love the equal opportunity. It's great. I love that women have the opportunity to coach, to play at times, at the kicker position. We've seen that a couple times. To ref games, no problem, right? They can't go in the locker room. Obviously, some of these things are a little different, but I'm not too sure that I feel that that's a great thing for a couple reasons only. Not because they're not professional, not because they can't learn the game, not because they won't be great at their job, not because they can't be as good as male refs, not because they don't deserve to be there. But what I'm saying is, guys on the field say things all the time to each other. This is a male sport. In the locker room, on the field, off the field, social media. For lack of a better term, we talk shit. Lack of a better term, right? So what I'm saying is, will these women be interested or be able to, close their ears per se, tunnel vision, and kind of close their ears and walk by and not hear certain things? Because that's what happens on the football field. Players are talking shit. You're going to hear all kinds of things that you've never heard in your life. And if you're a woman watching this right now, you have no idea what locker room talk sounds like. And everyone that's watching this, that's a man that's played sports and who watches as we upload to YouTube, understands what I'm talking about. In the locker room, we say things. I'm no longer in the locker room, so they say things, and those things transpire onto the field. And all the social media hype transpires on the field. So there's a little bit of yapping back and forth, and the ref should let that go. Let it go. It's part of the game. Now, if you're slandering people, if you're giving racial remarks, if you're saying things outlandish, okay, not tolerate that. But let these guys jabber back and forth and talk shit. It's part of the game. Will the women referees be able to handle some of that conversation? Because if I'm around them, I might not say certain things. But if I am, walking by and they happen to hear something, they might take it the wrong way. Let's just be clear. They might take it the wrong way. So all I'm saying is the refs have a big cutout job for them. I hope that they get to stretch it in, their push-ups, and get their stamina right, their conditioning, because they're up and down the field. But let them play football. If you're a male ref on the field, let them play football. Don't call every little tiny thing. Let them ball out. And if you're a woman ref on the field, understand you're going to hear things that you might not like. You might not want to tolerate, but close your ears. It's the NFL, and it's a Super Bowl. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on to the Pro Bowl. If you guys haven't watched a Pro Bowl ever, you got guys that are super talented players that get a chance to go to the Pro Bowl. You're selected. It's an awesome opportunity because you're one of the best that year, and people should take that, wow, what an accolade. This is amazing. But here's the problem now. And I'm not hating on that. I apologize. I'm not hating on the Pro Bowl. I'm just saying they don't go out there in pads anymore. They play flag football, right? So people want to go see the best of the best play. And what you're seeing is people like Tyreek Hill with blazing speed running around playing flag football. It's just, look, it's entertaining. They come out. They have these intros, fireworks, smoke, boom, coming out. It's great. For me, it's just the Pro Bowl is very different than it used to be. And so my concern right now is how much leverage are they going to lose with the Pro Bowl? Because the thing is that people don't want to watch it as much anymore. All the best talent in the world is no longer out there showcasing, run around, breaking tackles, making crazy plays, catching passes. The quarterbacks are alert. They don't worry about anything. They have a flag football game going on, and people are like, I paid to see this. I want to see the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I want to see the top running backs in the NFL. I want to see the hits, the best linebackers. You don't see that anymore. It's flag football. And people now are kind of a little bit up in arms. Not hate on the NFL. Love the NFL. I just think the Pro Bowl should go back to the football game, that we used to watch a long time ago. All the different helmets from all over the world. You watch the Giants, the Jets, you got the Chiefs, the Falcons, different helmets, right? You don't see that anymore. Now it's everyone was running around wearing flag football outfits. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you, because you want to watch these guys play. Let's move on to the Golden State Warriors. And I'm putting in the chat right now, before you guys go into the Warriors, I want to know in here, do you think there should be women refs in the NFL? Because that is the one thing I want to put in here for you, because I want to get a poll on that and see what you guys think. Just put it into the chat just now, so you guys can actually click on that on your side there. You'll see it says, should there be women refs in the NFL? Yes or no? Click on that, give me a poll so I can see. But yeah, let's move on right now to the Golden State Warriors and what's going on. So yeah, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, they've been fantastic for a long time, right? The Golden State Warriors have been great for a long time. And thank you to Clutch Sports for the graphic. I really appreciate you allowing us to use the graphic to pull up here. So basically, what's going on? I got to tell you what's going on. This team is kind of falling apart. Are we seeing the last of the Golden State Warriors? Are we seeing the last of this organization? That's what it seems like, because obviously Steph Curry is still balling, still the same guy running around making shots, but here we go. Draymond Green, as we know, has been suspended. He's been fined. I mean, it was indefinitely, then he came back. He's still kind of down the same road. I haven't. Guys, there, just hit a button there. Howard, I'm not in production. You are. I'm sorry about that. So what happens is Klay Thompson now has a contract that he's been denying, an extension to come back and play. So not only do you have Draymond Green having these issues and concerns, right? Well, man, Draymond Green, he's just losing his cool. He's just having a lot of concerns. There's a lot of problems. Then you have Klay Thompson, who was the splash brother, the right-hand man to Steph Curry. His right-hand man now is not accepting that contract. They're still negotiating it. I, for the life of me, cannot even think of seeing any of these. Well, maybe Draymond Green. But I can't really, picture Steph Curry wearing a different jersey. Maybe Klay Thompson, but Steph Curry, I saw a picture of Steph Curry in a Bulls jersey. I'm like, that is just so weird. Watching him right now in the Golden State Warriors, it's just, that's what we know him as, right? We know him as that. So, I'm just trying to take a look at this and say, will the Golden State Warriors be able to move forward if they lose these two players? Will the Warriors be able to bring other players in and replace them? Klay Thompson and the Splash Brothers for years were so great. It was like, without these two players right here, I got to tell you, Steph Curry would still be good, but not as good with them. They are guys that can move the ball. Obviously, Draymond Green, a physical force. Klay Thompson, you can kick it out to him for a three at any time, so you got to watch him too. That opens up Steph Curry for the three ball. It's just right now, the Warriors, are we seeing the last of this whole era of the Golden State Warriors era? That's the big question right now. Are they moving forward? Are they going to make some changes? And are we seeing the last triple? I like to call it the dynamic duo, but it's three of them. So are we seeing the last of that? But let's move forward here, because we got bare knuckle fighting. And before I go into that, we have a couple of fighters that are coming on the show, okay? And we have guys, we talk to in UFC. We have guys that we talk to, I guess, in the whole MMA conglomerate, and then we have bare knuckle. Before I pull this picture up, I want to make sure you guys understand. bare knuckle fighting is real. Okay? So don't be hurt by the graphic. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to see that. Here's the thing. These fighters are real. And they said UFC is real. This is real. Okay? Before I get into this, they're fighting bare knuckle. Okay? They're fighting bare knuckle. And I saw your message, Howard. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in production. I'm in over here pressing buttons in the back of the damn show, messing up my show. So I apologize. So bare knuckle fighting, these guys are going out there and there's no gloves, right? So what's the longevity of this sport? And that's why I have a guy coming on the show. I will announce him. We have everything signed with him to come on and talk about we have some clips of him fighting and what's happened to him in the fights. But to talk about this, these guys legit are getting rocked. Okay? I'm talking rocked. And so what I want to make sure, we have another clip here or is in the reaction? I have another picture here. I believe it's in the reaction. And this is a little, okay. I'm not sure how you guys feel about watching this right now. If you're in the chat right now, comment what you think. Should women, do you want to see women in this kind of sport? I'm looking down at my computer and I'm like, this is a little gruesome, but this is what it is. You go from this with men fighting bare knuckle and you're like, oh, warriors out there, gladiators. And then all of a sudden you hit the button and you go, wait a second. The women sometimes are more gruesome. The women sometimes look more aggressive. The women that are in the MMA, they're in the UFC, and they're bare knuckle fighting, they are real. They are out there to win. They have split, their face is split open. Do you think, if you're watching this right now, that women should participate in these sports? Yes or no? That's what I want to know, if you can, in the chat. But I'm just saying, I have a guy that's coming on here talking. What's the real longevity of a career? How long can you get your face popped before you're like, okay, my face is split open. This is bad. Even UFC is obviously violent, but bare knuckle is serious. There's no gloves. So you're getting knuckled to your face. You're getting split open. You're going to the hospital. You're getting stitched up in a locker room, whatever you're doing after every fight. They're not making enough money right now. We're going to bring on the bare knuckle president as well. I've been talking to him on social media. They're building it up. They're looking for investors. They wanted to see it grow. Can this sport grow? Can people be bare knuckle fighters that long and look like this? How long can you do this? You got to get that massive paycheck because you have a couple fights. And I'm going to tell you, after a couple rocks and a couple hits like that, you might not be able to continue that. You might want to consider boxing. But we'll dive into that when we have our guest on the show. He'll come on and break that down for us. Moving on to something that was interesting and exciting, okay. Jose Altuve with the Astros. Okay, this man just signed, Howard, pull it up for us, Moneybags, an extension, 5 years. What did he make, Howard? $125 million. Okay, so just so you guys understand, Jose Altuve already made a bunch of money, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, but to stay home and play baseball, where he's been playing now for some time, just signed $125 million. What would you do with $125 million? Right? Exceptional money. Now, what I want to ask you guys here right now as you're watching this, I don't know if you're into baseball or not, but I want you to comment in the chat. It's important to me to understand what you guys like as we expand our show, but what's more important to you? NFL, NBA, baseball, UFC? Put your favorite sport in the chat right now so I can see it. And as we expand out, so we know YouTube likes everything. There's fans all over the place. But I want to know what you guys think. In the chat right now, if you're watching, NFL, NBA, or another sport, because I hit those the most. Is it baseball? Is it hockey? Is it UFC? What is it? Put that in the chat so I can check it out and I'll get back to you guys there. So as we move on, and one thing I want to tell you guys too, when I'm doing my show and I'm talking here live to everybody, it's like I'm sitting here And my personality is kind of more interactive. I like talking and moving around, and I see other shows. I'm going to address this so I can stand up, turn around, and draw on the board, and Mark could be more interactive. I think it'll be better to bring the show on. So I think you guys might enjoy that a little bit more. But here's how we're going to end our show today. And we're going to pull it up right now for you guys because we have a quote every day. And as you know, we're 10 to 11. But when we don't have a guest, we're 10 to 10:30. With a guest, we're to 11. Here's the quote of the day because we just hit baseball. But let's pull it up. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run. Listen to that right now. If you're watching this right now, and I'll pull close to me again so you can see. Listen to this quote. I want you guys to understand something. At the end of every single segment, I do this quote for you and also for me. I love to announce it and talk about it, but it's important. You got every day started correctly. I come on at 10 a.m. and we end with this quote. I want you guys to watch this. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying and take this in every single morning. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run, from Babe Ruth. And what does that mean? Every time you swing and you miss, every time you chase something and you miss, or you think you failed at something or something's wrong, and I use these quotes, it's important. Guess what? You got closer to being successful because you got that one out the way. You got that one out the way. So that strike that came by you where you wanted to win and you didn't win, or that didn't work out, guess what? Here it is right here. I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is. Boom. That's gone. Closer to the win. I'm not going to slow down and back up now. What I'm going to do is, okay, boom. That's gone. Now I'm closer to the next thing, right? I'm closer to the next thing. And that's important. For everybody watching this right now, it's important that you keep focus every single day. You can't get up here every day and then, oh, I tried hard one day, then something happened and I fell back and I didn't try the next day, because it won't work like that. That strike just got you closer to your next home run. It just got you closer to your success. If you're watching this right now, a lot of people are starting new businesses and new chapters of your life. I know Tom in the chat here, I know you said you're starting your catering business, want to start a restaurant. You had one before. Here's the thing. You're getting closer now to that next step. I know Devon in here. Devon said the NFL. I know also Devon is starting some stuff as well. He said he's getting forward to his next thing. Got that strike out the way. You got that ticket. You got your license suspended. Whatever you did, oh, that's a strike. Let me get that out the way. I'm getting closer to my home run. Move forward in things in life and become successful. Guys, listen, thank you guys for tuning in to me every single day live as we go through this whole hit list, as you've seen here, every day, Monday, 10 to 10:30. And it will be 11 o'clock when we have our live guests on the show. We're scheduling them now, as I've been telling you. And we do still have our Xbox and PlayStation giveaway that is coming, and it's with the Super Bowl. You have to guess the Super Bowl correctly, subscribe to the show, and it will go to a random person that has subscribed. Guys, thank you for tuning into the show. I greatly appreciate you every single day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Until next time.